All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessing to the elect of Israel. And as you see, I have a picture up from our campsite this past Saturday, yesterday. Today's date being July the 18th, 2021. And well, of course, yesterday would be July it's the 17th, 2021. And going into a little bit what happened or background behind this picture. This building, as you see, Element, which we preach in front of every Saturday, the Spirit Power YAHAWASHI. It was flooded. It was flooded, and pretty much everybody had to be evacuated out of this building. And this building is a very expensive place to live, and a lot of haughty and proud and well-off people live there. And now they're technically homeless at the moment. And then as you see, I have in front, well, the picture I've taken, you can see in front of the building Element is a fire and water cleanup crew. And fire and water, going into the judgment that's coming. All right, the old world was flooded by water going into the time of Noah. All right, the old world perished by water, okay, being the first death, that great flood that the Lord brought upon the ungodly. And he's gonna do the same thing this time, but this time's gonna be by fire, okay, because he's gonna judge the entire planet. All right, and only a few select people are gonna make it through, okay, being the elect, okay. And the fire and water is ultimately a purifier. All right, and as you can see on the bottom, or it's like in cursive, it's in orange. All right, it might be kind of hard to see, but it's in quotation, I guess, as they're saying for the cleanup crew. It says like it never happened. All right, because this place, so-called America, right, ultimately this kingdom as a whole, Babylon the Great being NATO and the EU, this whole empire as a whole is going to be done away with, and it's gonna be like it never happened. Okay, it's gonna be like a bad dream. Okay, this place is gonna pass away overnight, and it's not gonna be remembered no more. Okay, besides that's the place that the Lord judged, just like Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, left as an example to those that who should after desire to live on godly. Okay, so let me get started. 2 Peter chapter 3, and I'll start at verse 3. It says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lusts and saying words of promise of his coming. Right, so people in this world, they're so concerned about their own lives. All right, what they're going to do tomorrow, what they're going to do next week, what are their plans for the year. Okay, they got their whole New Year's resolutions and things of that nature. All right, and they're not at all taking into account the prophecies of YAHAWASHI. Okay, they're not asking at the mouth of the Lord, being the servants of prophets, what should they do next. Okay, they're not seeking after the counsel of the Lord. So what's going to happen? That's why Proverbs 1st chapter says, "Lord's going to laugh at your calamities." All right, but in the last time, in the last days, going to be scoffers walking after their own lusts, right? Because as Scripture say, men shall be lovers of their own selves. All right, lovers of their own selves more than the Most High. The Most High through His only begotten Son, being YAHAWASHI, right? and saying where is the promise of His coming? So, mocking, all right, saying, oh, the Lord's not going to come back. He's not going to do no good. No, He's not going to do no evil. Okay, I'm just going to do what I do best, which is live in this world and try to make it something of myself. Okay. Is the normal mindset of you people, but now again, not considering the prophecies of YAHAWASHI, the testament of our Lord is the spirit of prophecy. Okay, and that's what's happening. All right, and that's why you can't do what you want to do. You got lockdowns, things like that, getting happen all over again. Because why? Because it's all about the prophecies of YAHAWASHI. Right, all this place will be locked down. This place gets put in martial law, and at the end of the day, this place will be destroyed by thermal missiles. Right. So it says, for since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. So again, the people saying that the Lord's not going to do anything. Okay, He's not going to do anything. That's what they think. All right, they're sadly mistaken. All right, they think things are going to continue on forever. That goes into that normalcy bias. All right, the things are just going to continue on as they were. Okay, that's not going to happen. Okay, there's a time and place where the Lord's going to say enough is enough. Right, verse 5 says, for this they are willingly ignorant of. Right, that by the word of the Most High the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that was then being overflowed with water perished. Right, so that world back then, that time, all right, that age, all right, that era, okay, went out by water. Okay, in the times of Noah. Right, so in the times we're in right now, we're the age of what Esau, the scripture says, 2 6 chapter, it says Esau is the end of the world. Okay, so this age, all right, is going to be what? Continue on. 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 7, it says, but the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. So, you know, that's going into this place being destroyed, you know, by fire, okay, by thermonuclear missiles, okay, right? So I'm gonna go down, skip down. 2 Peter 3 verse 10 says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So as you see in front of this building, it says element. It says element in front of this building, right? So the element's gonna melt with fervent heat, right? You know, and again, these missiles, right? So the 2 Peter 3 and verse 10 again says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. So it's gonna be like what? It never happened, right? So the day of the Lord comes as a thief in the night because people are not paying attention. They're asleep, all right? They're remaining they're in the congregation of the dead, all right, because they don't know this truth, right? So that's why, again, they're asleep. They're not watching, all right? So that's why this day is gonna come upon them unawares, all right? Because going into judgment of this building, it happened in the middle of the night, this flood, okay? Pipes burst, right? And people waking up in the middle of the night and panicking, not knowing what the hell to do, okay? Because they were not watching. They were not taking heed to the counsel of the Lord, which we prophesy in front of that building every single Saturday, okay? And people probably mocked and laughed. But guess what? The joke's on you. 2 Peter 3 and 11 says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought you to be in all holy conversation and godliness. So again, going into, you know, this place being done away with, right? Because that's what's getting ready to happen. This place is going to be done away with, all right? So if you're leaving your treasures here on this earth, you're going to be stuck here on this earth, okay? And you're going to be really ashamed because you didn't store up your treasures in heaven, okay? Because this place, again, is getting ready to be blown out like a candle. All right, so here, matter of fact, so 1 John 2 and 15, it says, love not the world, neither things that are in the world. So, you know, you're not supposed to be in love with this place, okay? Your whole mind, heart, body, and soul is on this planet and on this earth, you know, in this kingdom. All right, you continue reading. It says, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So, you know, and that's why the Lord said, if him that doeth the will shall abide. Well, I'm speaking ahead of myself. Let me just keep reading. It's not 2 Peter. 1 John 2 and 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world, right? So if you're, again, if you have fellowship with this world, what? That's enmity, all right, with the Most High, okay? You know, the Lord's not with you if you're all in for this world, because the Lord coming to do what? Destroy this world, okay? So he's going to destroy you with it. That's why, though hand on hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. So verse 17, and the world passed away in the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. So the world's going to pass away. So again, like it never happened, all right? Because again, this place is going to be cleaned up, okay? A whole new heavens and a new earth, right? But going into that second death, it tells you in that Revelation 21st chapter, right? All the wicked is going to be destroyed by what? But here it says, I'll start here. Yeah, Revelation 21 verse 7 says, he that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his power, and he shall be my son. So the elect are going through the spiritual fire, okay? You know, tried and refined through the furnace of adversity, okay? Acceptable men, okay? So they're going through the fire, okay? You people are going to be stuck in the fire, because we say every man's work shall be tried by fire, okay? To see what manner of sort it be, what material it would be, whether it be hay, wood, you know, stubble, okay? But if we go into the elect, those precious stones, those precious metals, all right, you know, we're going to a lot of these stones, okay? You know, gold, silver, okay? The things that are precious, okay? And that's the Lord's ultimately making up his men to be, okay? Precious, all right? Ultimately the elect, all right? But here, Revelation 21 verse 8 says, but the fearful and unbelieving and abominable and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. So that's going to be that restoration, okay, when all the wicked of this world is taken out, okay? Because why? Because according to his promise, let me see really quick. So here, which it says that in 2 Peter 3rd chapter, we're looking for a new heavens and new earth. But here, let me get straight to it. This is Isaiah 65 verse 17. Isaiah 65 verse 17, it says, for behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered nor come into mind. So there you go. All right? Because again, it's going to be a refreshing, okay, a refresh, or a global, a righteous global reset, okay? You know, everything's going to be put back in its proper order, okay? It's going to be a process, okay? But it starts with this place being destroyed, okay? The Lord destroying all the wicked out of this world and destroying everything that this man has built up in wickedness, okay? His buildings, his everything, okay? It has to go because it does not promote righteousness, all right? The Lord making up his men, okay, the 144,000, you know, the rest of the elect. This is to be the governing body, you know, being the house of David, to what? To conduct this world in righteousness. That's what you say. When the righteous bear fruit, people rejoice, okay? I can grab one more. I mean, that's pretty much it. The point, you know, I want to get a quick lesson. You know, fire and water, cleanup, okay? You know, because he's going to second Esdras, the 7th chapter, that narrow path, okay? Also says in the book of Matthew that the straight path, you know, what does it say? It says fire on one side and deep waters on the other side, okay? And we're walking between both, okay? And it's a dangerous place to fall, okay? But the Lord keeps us from slipping and falling, and keeps us on that straight and narrow, okay? But it's gonna get narrow, it's gonna get more narrow. That's what it says, it's gonna be one man only at a time, you know. So we have to walk our walk unto the end, you know. Of course, Lord, we endure to the end, but you know, ultimately, if we're part of the elect, we're gonna make it, okay? We're gonna go through some tribulation. That's why YAHAWASHI said, in the world you shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer if I overcome the world, okay? So we have things to look forward to. That's why we have hope. We're saved by hope, okay? But hope that is not seen is not hope. That's why we with patience we wait for, okay? Meaning to suffer, all right? But we know, so to say what in Esdras it says, be not curious how the ungodly shall perish and when, all right? They're going to be destroyed. You know, elements melting with fervent heat, that includes people, these people, okay? Of course, again, the building, all the materials, things like that, the roads done away with, but really the people, okay? Most importantly, they're going to be done away with. And if they're an Israelite, you know, 2/3 are going to be destroyed in this hellfire, okay? Matter of fact, I'll close out there. It's a perfect place to close out, because the elect can get through the fire, but the wicked of our people, they're going to have to be burnt up in the fire, okay? So this is let me see. Yep, this is it right here. Zechariah 13. Whoops. Zechariah 13 and verse 8, it says, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith YAHAWASHI, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, the third part shall be left therein, right? So that's the elect, right? And this prophecy is going specifically into so-called America, right? Because that great deliverance is going to come out of here in so-called America, just like in ancient Egypt. You know, of course, the rest of the elect delivered throughout the 4 corners of the earth, but the majority of the salvation is going to come here and will happen here in so-called America, right? So in that land, talking about so-called America. But when we say 2/3 and 1/3, we can also speak in general as the righteous and the wicked, right? So here's Zechariah 3 and 9. Zechariah 13 and 9, when I close out, it says, and I will bring the third part through the fire, right? And refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, right? So what is his name? What is his son's name? If thou can tell, right? And I will hear them, right? So because it says the prayer of the humble pierces the clouds, right? It says, I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, YAHAWASHI is my power, right? So, you know, when the elect are beamed up and changed, you know, that's the new Jerusalem, okay? Going into, again, a refreshing, all right? And it's, again, going into what says on the side of this little trailer, it says, like it never happened, okay? So we're going to go back to that beginning, inherit our first estate, you know, and start all over again, okay? And righteousness and this kingdom that's coming is going to be forever, right? And we never have to worry about, you know, our people being wicked no more and this devil coming into power. And never again, all right? You know, going into happily ever after for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, all right? So that makes pretty much the point. Don't want to, you know, beat a dead horse. So that's it. With that, those words be edifying. As always, give all praise to YAHAWASHI, double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Peace and blessings.